how are you doing?
Awesome. I'm excited to be doing all this stuff around.
Why are you so excited?
It's good.
Alright.
I'm happy to be here.
So
I've been talking about nothing.
So I thought what would be really cool actually is if maybe we kind of walk people through a little bit of our history. I mean, let's go back all the way back to 2008 and like, what were you thinking?
What I was thinking?
Yeah, like why did you do all this? Why did we create Sucuri? What was the purpose?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that back then, when you had a website, there was pretty much no way to know if your site was, how your site was operating. Was it secure? Was it infected? Was it blacklisted? And I was starting a site for my mom.
Yeah.
And
that's the story I always tell people.
Yeah, that's the one. And
yeah.
I was putting that on the cloud, right? On
Yeah.
a shared hosting somewhere.
But we didn't use the word cloud. You just put it on a shared hosting.
That was just a shared hosting, right? And I didn't have a way to monitor, and that got me really frustrated. Like, how? Because back then I was running OSEC, which was an intrusion detection system that you installed on every server that you controlled.
Yeah.
And since I was moving, I was like, how can I monitor the site? How would I know if there's any issues going on, if it's down, if it's have malware, blacklisted? So that's kind of the really origins, that how can I set up something so that I can monitor her site remotely without having to install an agent.
So you were trying to automate tech support so mom wouldn't keep calling you. So that when you mom call, you're like, I don't want to call. Like, how do I do this where my mom wants to get online? I want to help her get online, but I really don't want to do any work to get online. So, like, what can I do to do that, right?
Yeah, so that was the really beginning of Sucuri, was find a way to monitor your site remotely. But not just uptime monitoring was common back then too, right?
Yeah.
It was, is your site changing? Is your site with malware? Is blacklisted? All these pieces. That's kind of the origin.
And then what happened? I mean, I remember back early 2010, so you started giving out the scanner, right? And people were like, it's just a little tool, nobody's going to use it. And then what happened?
Yeah, it was funny because initially everything was free.
Yeah.
We wanted everyone to use it. Mm-hmm. And I built we built a cloud service where you could create an account, add your site, and monitor. All free. And we got like 1,000 customers, 5,000 customers, 10,000 customers, and a lot of people started using it, which was exciting.
Yeah.
But the common issue was, I was like, well, you just notified me that you identified this malware on my site. Mm-hmm. How do I clean up now? I'm like, well, try this step, run these tools, and I started helping people. I started cleaning up a lot of sites for free, and then I started taking a lot of my time. And then I was like,
oh man, I wonder if we should charge for this thing. Because I can't keep doing.
Can we charge a little bit more? Can we charge maybe $89 for unlimited cleanups for all your sites? And that was the.
It was like $89, unlimited, whatever site you. It's kind of like this. Our normal apparatus, modus operandi at the time was like, I mean, how hard can it be? Like, it can't be that hard to clean. Yeah. Then it turns out to be like really freaking hard. Right? Yeah. You're like, oh shit.
We started cleaning up a lot of sites, and it was funny that the first month, I remember, it was January 2010.
Yeah.
We got one sign up that paid for it.
Yeah.
And the site was all black. It was scary. Like, these guys are.
Who would actually buy this?
Hacking site, right?
Yeah.
But then the second month, we got, I think, 20 something. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. And then third month, almost 100 signups.
Well, what happened?
There's a lot of sites getting hacked, and people had nowhere to go.
But remember though, like 2010 was kind of like the wild, wild west. You know what I mean? We had things like TimTum that came into play in that summer that really caused everything to go crazy with WordPress. Yes. Remember? And that's like, they went through the roof. We're like, oh my God, we made $45,000. I'm like, oh my shit, everybody went crazy, right? But it's interesting though, because like that entire approach has been at the core of who we've been for years now, right? I mean, everybody always says, well, how did you guys plan to do this? And my response is like, well, we kind of really didn't. Like, all we've done is just try to keep up and keep running as fast as we can without falling on our faces.
We saw a need, and we can probably solve this need.
The problem is we just keep seeing needs.
Yeah.
Like the needs just don't stop. So first it was like, let's tell people they have problems. That sounds like a great idea. We didn't think about like, shit, now we got to tell them how to fix it, right? And then it was like, then we went through this journey around 2013, right? Where it was, so we're doing monitoring, we're doing cleanups, and then customers just keep getting reinfected. I think we had like this, in our minds we thought, gosh, if we just tell them what to do, they'll follow our instructions.
They won't get reinfected.
And what we realized is that they actually don't do that. Like they actually don't follow our instructions at all. And then that's kind of like our next evolution, right around 2013 timeframe, where you started building the WAF.
When we started the WAF,
Tell them a little bit about kind of how you started with that, right?
Yeah, The WAF was fun because initially the idea was that we just need to prevent infections. So we created.
It was more for ourselves. Like we don't want customers to keep coming back. Like the more they came back, the more it cost us.
There's a lot more work
Yeah,
for us.
yeah.
Right? So we created a little WAF module, or a bash module, that would stop some of the most common vulnerabilities, especially in Joomla. We're getting a lot of infection in Joomla. People using the Joomla 1.5.
I remember.
That has a bunch of vulnerabilities. It wasn't as easy to update back then.
Yeah,
right
they
now,
didn't have a
you
good
see these
upgrade
nice, easy updates, one-click updates.
Right.
Before, you had to upload files, all this work, right? So we built this little Apache module, able to block attacks. But that wasn't really scaling, right?
Well, we had an
Stuff
issue
on
with all the
server,
hosts, right?
and
We couldn't modify all the
We could not
hosts.
support no hosts.
Yeah.
So the idea was like, well, if you're gonna do on the hosting side, maybe you can do on the cloud. I mean, just proxy back all the comments between the clients.
Yeah.
And we built our WAF on that model. So
Remember when we built it we really built it on like AWS, Google
yeah,
Cloud. Remember they shut us down?
yeah,
That was crazy, right? It was around that
That was a
time.
bad-
that was a
bad
bad
day.
day. Yeah, we're like,
Pretty
oh
much,
crap. Yeah. We thought we were smart. We thought like, oh, we got a better way to do this on the cloud, right?
We built on the cloud, we scaled, we used all the proper AWS scaling solutions. And then one day there was a big DDoS.
Yeah.
And they weren't able to scale fast enough.
Well, remember, AWS is like, we will never shut you down. We paid the premiums.
Yeah.
And they came back and they're like, it was too big of an attack. We had to shut you down.
But not only they shut us down, they disabled our account.
Yeah.
We lost access to our tools, and nobody knew where it was done.
Yeah.
Took a while for them to figure it out that an engineer back into a group in Australia decided it was a good idea to shut down his account because they thought it was malicious for some reason.
Those are good
and
times.
that was really affecting their network.
Yeah.
So after that, we said, well, maybe DDoS mitigation cannot be done properly in the cloud. So we decided to create our own infrastructure.
And now look at us.
Large, and
We just went live in Singapore and Amsterdam.
yeah, now we're in 10 locations. We can have more
How
than
rad is that?
hundreds of gigabytes per second of mitigation. And
What do you think? Are we going to add any more next year?
oh yeah,
You think so?
keep growing, man. Growing. Can never stop.
So we got acquired, right? April of 2017.
Yeah.
It's been about a year and a half. How are you feeling?
It's exciting because in this year and a half,
Mhm.
we more than doubled the amount of sites we have in a WAF. We
Right.
multiplied by multiple X the amount of sites in the monitoring.
Hey, so feeling pretty good.
The scale of our operations just increased so much
Yeah.
that it's exciting to see one little thing we started building back then
Yeah.
now being used by millions of customers.
Well, we always used to talk, right? Just before the acquisition, it was about, one of the reasons for the acquisition was when you build something, you always want to see it scale. You always want to see some massive, like at the core of what we were doing was to have a greater impact, right? A lot of people didn't realize that. Well, why were we so cheap? Or why did we build the way we did? Well, when we initially built Sucuri, it was never really to be some big conglomerate. It was really all about trying to make it easier for the website owner, for the webmaster as we call them. People make fun of us for calling them webmasters, but that's what they are. And if you think about it, nobody was focusing on them. Everybody focused on the consumers. Everybody focused on the enterprise. But those people that were trying to get online didn't really have resources. They didn't really know how to go about thinking about it. And security was one very small piece. And so we're like, well, we should be able to make security more consumable and affordable by everybody. And that's kind of like
accessible by everyone.
And that's kind of like what brought us to GoDaddy, right? I mean, they're at 18 million customers, 75 million domains around the world.
Easy and accessible is what they need.
That's exactly right. And so it actually put a lot more pressure on us to figure out how can we continue to make it easy and accessible. And I think at least what I've enjoyed is we always talked about seeing Sucuri be 2.0 and grow it and affect more users. And I think that's kind of where we're going. I mean, so I think we spent the first year and a half doing a lot of integrations internally, right? Supporting all the GoDaddy brands, Media Temple, Host Europe Group, etc. And as we go into 2019, it's going to be curious to see what happens to the Sucuri brand. So this is a Sucuri brand. We've decided that it's going to be the premium security brand in the market. And we've been pretty awesome. We've been picking up some really big brands based on the same technology that we built, offering some better customer service and better SLAs. And it's been pretty nice, right? And we're seeing some folks like the Dallas Mavericks and Bloomberg, and folks are using it in the scale of the infrastructure.
Really large scale.
At very large scale,
right?
right? We're pushing some serious traffic.
And we're pushing some really interesting enterprise features.
That's
for
exactly
load
right.
balancing, geo load balancing, control and caching control. That none of our competitors are offering right now, and our clients are.
And so it's cool because now we're being able to split the market. So the Sucuri premium brand is going up market, mid market, while the GoDaddy brand is focusing on the everyday consumers. And so we get to see the product do both things. Right? Like that's like another level of 2.0 that I never even thought of. Like, oh, we're really gonna do this, right? But no, it's really cool.
How are you feeling, man?
I feel good. Like I'm actually. I'm excited for what we're going to do within the GoDaddy stack. I think that there's some really interesting stuff that we're going to do with them on their platforms. Can't talk too much about it, but it'll be really interesting. But I'm actually.
But if you're hosting GoDaddy, you're gonna get some really cool security by default.
2019, and so that's the idea, right? We always talked about this: is that for the everyday consumer, to achieve security, you have to make it transparent, right? Transparent doesn't equate to easy or inexpensive or free, but it just has to be. It just has to flow. It just has to happen. And I think
that's impact the day to day.
That's exactly right.
Everything just
nobody really cares. Nobody wants to spend their time on it, but it still has to be effective. It still has to work. And I think we might be able to achieve some of that. So that's pretty nice. But I don't know. I feel pretty good. I think the part that I'm most excited about is when we did the acquisition, we were at 110 folks. And I think it's a huge testament to that what the team feels, that we've only lost a very small percentage. Most everyone has stayed with us and is still on this ride with us. And I don't know, I think that's kind of cool. I think that's a testament to what we've built.
Right?
That's awesome.